Hello, 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 everybody.
Hello, everyone.
It's another episode of me talking about a movie that no one has seen yet. It's spooky season. Okay. So the next film that I saw at the New York Film Festival was actually the first film I ever saw in a drive-in setting. I
Ooh.
did a drive-in. It was very interesting. By the way, the film that I saw was Nomadland, the new Chloe Zhao movie with Frances McDormand that everyone is in love with, but I'll get to that in a second. She's also directing the Eternals movie, that Marvel thing.
Mm-hmm.
So the drive-in experience. Have you ever been drive-in? Have you ever done a drive-in before?
No, I have not, but I really want to because coronavirus.
It's interesting. So there's a couple of things to know before you do that. So
Mm-hmm.
you have to keep your car lights off when the movie's on. So that means that you have to turn on your engine and off and on. And it's real dumb and it distracts you and also the people around you. So just bring your own radio and just sync it to whatever the station is. Because it's so much easier and you don't have to fiddle with your car. Just get an old radio and bring it and just make sure you have batteries for it. That's all you have to do. Because once we figured that out, we were great. Somebody came over to us because we were like freaking out because I was like, oh my God, why didn't I think of this? And I told my friend, like, I don't want her car to like die or whatever. And we didn't know that they had jumper cables, but they had that and they were prepared to like revive everybody's car because they had to do it before, which is what they told us later. But there was one of the staff was walking around with the radio and she just gave it to us, and it was very nice of her to do that. I don't know her name, but she was a nice white lady. So thank you, nice white lady, for doing what you did. You're the best.
Yeah, that's good.
But after that, we the other two screenings, we brought our own radios. Also, for this screening, which is sort of, I'm not going to say it's a significant impact on my enjoyment of the film, but there's a part of it that is. And it's that we came on time when the doors opened, but apparently they opened the doors early and there were so many people ahead of us in line, so we didn't get an amazing spot. And also at drive-ins, apparently the sedans get to be extremely closer to the screen and the SUVs do not. So we were like in the second or third row of SUVs and like the screen was like 500 feet away from us. It was insane. And it was hard to read things sometimes, and I'm glad Nomadland isn't a foreign film because the subtitles would have been illegible the entire time if it was. But there is a scene where someone has a note and they open it, and you literally couldn't read what that person wrote in that note at all. It happened again when we were watching In the Mood for Love, which is the next movie that we saw at the drive-in. It's a revival, so I'm not reviewing it. It's one of the best movies ever made. It's one of the best romance movies ever made. It's a 9 out of 10. There you go. I reviewed it. Bam. I said everything that everybody ever said about In the Mood for Love. The performances are perfect. The cinematography is perfect. The music is great. Wham, I did it. In that movie, there's a couple of subtitles that go over like someone with a white shirt or like a white wall or something. And in a drive-in, you cannot read it if it's on white. But I've seen the movie so many times, in front of my TV or something that I know that you can read it if you're close enough, but if you're 200 feet away, it's impossible to read it. So if you're going to a drive-in, do not go in any car that isn't a sedan or a tiny car. If you're in an SUV or a truck, don't even bother, because you're just going to be too far away to get the full experience. So that it's a part of my experience, but it's not the whole reason why I feel the way I feel about Nomadland. So let's just get into Nomadland. A lot of people are saying that this is the best film of the year. A lot of people are saying that Frances McDormand is going to win the Oscar for this. And I think she's good in the movie, but I don't think this movie is as good as everyone is saying it is. I don't think the movie is bad by any means. I just don't think it's like amazing. And I don't think this movie says anything that Chloe Zhao didn't already say in her first film, The Songs My Brother Taught Me. I don't know if you've seen that film.
I've heard of it.
It came out, I think it came out in 2008, if I want to say. No, 2015. Sorry. Whoa. That's a large gap in film history. Jesus Christ. It came out in 2015. It's currently on Amazon Prime. So if you haven't seen Songs My Brother Taught Me, I would recommend that you watch that before you watch Nomadland. She also came out with the movie 2 years ago called The Rider, which I have, but I haven't seen it yet, which I will assume that it has the same visual language as those movies. But her style is Terry Malick-esque. It's very like the camera is it's roaming, and we're experiencing a character go through something, but there isn't a whole lot of conventional scenes. I mean, there are, but it's not in the same way as like your conventional movie. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, it feels like a Terrence Malick movie, her movie sometimes, but she has her own style in there. Yeah, I don't think this movie says anything that Songs My Brother Taught Me didn't say, but better. And also, with Songs My Brother Taught Me, it's more visually dynamic, and also just the added thing about Native American poverty I thought was way more interesting. And Nomadland deals with elderly poverty in the Midwest, which is interesting just based on like what Frances McDormand's character goes through as a nomad. And there's this whole nomad community, and it's very cool. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed like engaging with the world in this world I hadn't experienced before, and just sort of like the logistical things that they have to deal with, like how do you use the bathroom, like what do you do in certain situations. And I thought that was very interesting, and I liked what this movie tried to say with loneliness, but I think that there are movies that deal with loneliness that do it better, and I think there are Chloe Zhao movies that deal with loneliness that do it better. It's definitely a more accessible film just because Frances McDormand is the lead actress and the lead actor, and Daniel Strathern, I think that's how you say his name, Strathern. He has a very weird last name, but he's I don't know if you know. You've seen him in movies. He's in Godzilla 2014.
Mm-hmm.
He's the old white guy with the beard. He's in Godzilla King of the Monsters. He's in movies. He's been in movies.
Yeah.
I'll send you the link to his face, and you're like, oh, that's him. Yeah.
No, I know who he is.
You know who he is? Great.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
You've seen movies. Good. Great. You know who I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so like you have those two well-known actors in it, so it's more like accessible, and the narrative of the film is a little bit more accessible, but it didn't do enough for me in the way that her other films did. So with that being said, I will watch this film again, with the screen closer to my face this time, so I can get a more immersive experience. But I think if the film was better, I would have gotten more out of it regardless. And I'm giving Nomadland a 6 out of 10.
That's good.
Yeah, we did it.
Yeah.
I didn't know you knew who David Strathairn was.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You know more about movies than I do.
I don't know about that.
Okay. We'll see.
When you said Godzilla and King of the Monsters, I knew. I was like, oh, yeah, it's that dude who said, what are we going to do about this doctor? And then he's like, let them fight.
No, that's Ken Watanabe who says let them fight.
Yeah, the dude before, the dude's next to him.
Oh, I haven't seen Godzilla 2014 recently, so.
Me either.
Maybe we should for a video. Oh, wait, we're still recording.
Yeah.
If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. If you agree or disagree, tell us in the comments. Subscribe if you haven't already. Share with your friends. Do all the things. The Matrix video will be out at a point in time. It's already done. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.